Welcome to another episode of Ladies Talking Business, a business lifestyle show where we break down the concept of business to its simplest form. I am Moremi Akano. On today's episode, we will be talking about the event planning niche market in Nigeria from the perspective of an event vendor with our guest, Oghenekevwe Omotosho. Oghenekevwe is a serial entrepreneur and a graduate of computer engineering. She obtained her BEng degree at the Enugu State University of Science and Technology, Enugu, Nigeria. She is the Chief Executive Officer and Creative Director of the unique popcorn brand, Gimme Oh Wow Popcorn and Events, makers of the popular Oh Wow popcorn brand. Oghenekevwe is also the founder of IsabiWork, an app designed to connect artisans or service providers with clients near them. As founder of IsabiWork, she emerged the top female entrepreneur 2018 to 2019 Startupper of the Year Challenge, organized by Total in Nigeria. Thanks for coming on the show today, Kewe. Is it okay if I call you Kewe?
Yes,
okay.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
So, what does it take to become a good event vendor?
To be a good event vendor, the first thing I would say is that the person has to be a good listener.
You're a good listener.
Because clients come to you and they have a picture of what they want in their mind and they're trying to mirror it, as in they want you to see what they want. And the only way to picture what your client wants is to listen. Okay. So first of all, the person has to be a good listener, and at the same time, not just listening, the person has to be creative to be able to recreate what the client wants.
Okay.
Those two are very, very important.
So you have to be a good listener, you have to be creative.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm sure you'd agree with me that planning a party in Nigeria is different.
It's totally different.
Okay, so what are the things, from a vendor's point of view, what are the things to bear in mind when planning a Naija party?
First thing that you have to have in mind as the host or the hostess is your budget. What do you want to spend? What's available to spend? Where you stop with your budget is where your rishi, if I say we can, stop. So if you want a small party, your event planner will work with your budget. See, as an event vendor, we work with event planners. Although some clients call us directly, but most times we work with event planners. Okay. So the event planner is the one that now translates, okay, this is what we can work with, this your budget can take this, can take that, and all that. So first thing is the budget.
The budget, yeah.
Then the venue.
Okay.
Do you want it? Do you want an outdoor party, an indoor party? Do you have the space in your house, or do you want to rent outside? All these things, it still goes back to the budget.
Okay.
Then we'll now talk about the number of guests. Do you, if it's a large party, are you planning for 100, 200, 1,000 or less? Some people might be planning for just 20, 50. So the number of guests is also a very important. Yeah. Then your event planner. You have to choose an event planner if you don't have the time. Some people will go all the way to try and do all these things by themselves because they have the time. But there are some very busy individuals that need to outsource the event and the party planning to the event planners. So another thing again that I would like to add is the type of party. Is it a burial? Is it a wedding? Is it a birthday? All these things are things that you need to put into consideration when planning a party. Because in Naija, there's something about the way we want our guests to perceive our parties. Even those that don't have so much would want to still, they like to get people that will still portray that air of I spent a lot. That is the Naija factor. So that's when you have a client like that, or most of our clients are like that, you have to listen to them and give them the standard that they want.
Yeah, but doesn't it depend on their money?
It depends on the money, but even with little money, you can still have a quality event. So that's where the creativity comes in. For, okay, you have this particular budget. How can I work around this budget to still bring out a particular standard that my guest or that my client will be proud of? Just something that is still worth it, even if it's little.
Even if it's little money.
Yes. Okay. So that is just the main thing about the event
in Naija party.
Yes, in Naija party, you have to put that in mind, because nobody wants to, in quotes, they don't want anybody that will fall their hand.
Yes, so I know you're in the kiddies space. I mean, well, more often you play in the kiddies space. So how do you best plan and cater to kiddies parties in such a way that it's memorable for the kids?
Well, you have to think like a child. What are those things that the children want to see or want to experience? You have to create an experience for the children. So that's why you see that most kiddies parties have this theme. What's the theme of the party? What do you think the child wants to experience? Some want to go to Wonderland. Some want to go to safari. Some want to be princesses. Some want to be superheroes. So all these things you need to look at and listen and say, okay, this is what the client wants. And this time, even the parents need to still listen to that, the real celebrants.
The child.
Yes. the parents have to listen to that child. The child will tell you specifically, you'll be surprised that they know exactly what they want.
True.
This is the kind of cake I want. I want a Barbie cake. I want what they call it? There are different
Ibenten
cake. Different kinds of characters. So the child is the one that's going to let you know that this is what I want. If a parent is planning a child's party and did not involve the child in the plan, the child may say, "Mommy, I don't want to be a princess in this party. I don't want this princess character. What I want is the Wonder Woman character, for example." So
it's very important to bring the kids along in the planning process.
Yes. Then, especially when they're now older. 8 years, 10 years.
They already know what they want.
They have their list. They have the list of what they want. They are already event planners on their own. So it's just for them to be telling the main event planner that this is what I want, and they look out for it. They want to experience. For children, it's all about the experience.
I agree. We'll talk more about this shortly.
Okay.
We will go on a quick break now. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. This is still Ladies Talking Business, and our guest is Oghenekevwe Omotosho. So, I'm sure you'd agree with me that there are hundreds of thousands of vendors out there, especially in Nigeria.
Yes.
So how can a vendor stand out in this oversaturated events market?
Well, standing out is first of all being able to recreate something different, a unique piece. That if this is how ABCD is doing it, I want mine to be different, so they can easily pick you out of the crowd. So creativity, you have to be creative.
Okay. To
say, if people are shaping theirs like this, I want to shape mine like this. If people are using this kind of what they call it, shaving dish, something like that.
Shaving dishes.
Yes. Yeah. I want mine to be different. Plates. That's why you keep seeing new innovations. If by the time if you attend several parties in a month, you see different kinds
styles,
different styles, because people want to bring in their own personality into what they are doing, and show that, okay, we are different from everybody.
Okay. So, just like I said, there are hundreds of thousands of businesses, vendors, who are also small businesses. In your own opinion, what do you think is the best way for them to scale up? Because there's so many people. So how can I scale up, make more money, or make money in my industry?
First, you have to think big.
Think big.
Yes. Look at yourself, where you are right now. Okay, I want to be so and so place. I want to be at a particular level at a particular time. So that's someone already thinking big. But some people are just content with what they have right now. In short, some people actually underprice themselves.
Just so they can get more.
Just so that, yes. At the beginning, it's okay. It's actually okay to start with a few free jobs, just to create awareness that this is what I do. But by the time you now start getting more clients and people are getting to know you, and you now realize that, wait, I want to grow bigger. That's thinking big. I don't want to be on this level. So first, the person has to think big to say you want to go to the next level. Then the second thing again, you have to delegate. Because I personally, I like doing things on my on my own terms and my designs. When I started, I was always at events. I would want to arrange everything, take pictures, do this, do that. Then when it's now, after a while, I realized that you can't continue doing this. If you want to really grow, you should be able to delegate. And when your process, it's also standardization, setting processes that this is how it's done and all that. Then you have to now replicate. That is part of scaling. By the time you've been able to hand it over to certain workers, people that work with you, and you see that, yes, they are getting, after training them and all that, you see that they're getting it, then you can now replicate to another. Because initially we started with only one event per day. Right now, we've been able to scale to 3-4 events a day.
Oh, wow.
And I don't even go to events.
Don't show your face.
I don't go for events anymore because I've successfully delegated the roles. So that control freaky thing that I was doing before, that I want to, how can I do that in 3 places?
So it's important that you train your staff well.
Very important.
So that they can handle the business when you're not available.
When you're not available. You can travel abroad, safe, and everything is going to still work out smoothly. But if you keep on wanting to be the one to do everything, then
you are going to burn out in a matter of time, really. Okay, so tell us about some of the challenges that vendors face. Just being vendors. And how best to navigate them.
Okay, one of the major challenges that vendors face is timing. Timing, because at a point, I had to now put a cap on my time limit. I said 6 hours. Because of the African what they call it, African time in Naija. So an event is supposed to start by, let's say, 12 noon. So I usually ask them, what's your setup time? So they give us a setup time, probably 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. And my workers are already there by probably 8, 9. Count the number of hours. By 12, it's already 3 hours, right? Party now starts around 3. 4. And it's no fault of the host or the hostess.
So whose fault is it? People that didn't come on time?
It's just a Nigerian thing that, am I going to be the first person to arrive at the party? So imagine someone that is like our own now. What we do now is not very perishable. Imagine those doing jollof rice, fried rice, and all that. And you have to now keep that for how many hours? So timing is a major challenge that we have as vendors. So the vendor will have to wait until the party starts. So
how can in the situation where timing, just like as you've mentioned, is a challenge, so how can vendors navigate and walk through that?
Well, it's going to take a while, but we'll get there. In other countries, especially in the West, they charge per hour. In Naija here, you cannot try per hour. You can't try per hour. So if we can walk to that level, that we can now start charging per hour.
I think it will even make parties start early.
It will make parties start early. And the host or the hostess or the party planner also have to work on emphasizing the time. Especially on the invitation card.
No Nigerian time.
No, yes. My 2 o'clock is 2 o'clock. My 12 is 12. I'm telling you, a party that starts by 12, you see people strolling in by 5. That's like after party kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've been to events where the party is supposed to start by 1 p.m. By 3, the whole place is still empty, and the hostess was already panicking. She was like, people. I said, just calm down. That's what happens. I was also a guest there too. So, and because the lady was my friend, I saw the tension and the way she was just. I told her, I said, calm down. You see them, and guess what?
They rushed in about 5, 6.
There was no seat again. About 5 p.m. There was no more seats.
We'll talk more about this shortly. More conversations with our guests coming up after the break. I'm still here with Oghenekevwe Omotosho, CEO, Gimme Oh Wow Popcorn and Events. So, Kewe, as an entrepreneur in this event industry, for you, this is more like a personal question. So tell us about a high moment that's made entrepreneurship worth it for you. I know that there'll be a lot of difficult moments. That's why I didn't ask you for your own challenges. But I just need an encouraging moment.
Oh, okay. One of the high points of our catering was when we catered for the vice president. Okay. And that was in 2018 or 2019, thereabout. So I got a call as in like a normal, regular call. That I wanted to cater this and that. I didn't know who we're catering for. I gave the regular price, everything. In short, it was towards the end of the year, so we're no longer taking jobs. I don't know. I just felt like, okay, let's just take this. It's just one more. I think it was on the 26th of December, thereabout. I was like, let's just do this one. So I didn't know it was Professor Simbajo's house until the day of the event when they sent the venue. I was like, wow. Wow. So that one, I went there myself.
I know that feeling.
I was like, I had an event I was supposed to attend with my husband. I just begged my husband. I said, please, this one. I want to go.
Oh, amazing, amazing. So in talking about entrepreneurship, who are some of your inspirations?
Okay.
And why?
Well, my major inspiration, especially in Nigeria industry, is Mrs. Funke Bucknor.
Yeah. Okay.
You see, working with her brand, because we've done some jobs with them. You see that she has set processes in place. The workers are polite, and there's a relationship. So just watching everything that I don't think she even does a lot of work anymore. She has put things in place. I admire the work that she has put into place and the way things are running. I was like, okay, they can have several events in different locations without so much stress and all that. She's a role model.
Okay, give me another one.
Well, there are many others, but I'll mention who will I mention now?
Okay, maybe I should take you off the hot seat. I'll take you off the hot seat.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the future of the events planning industry? Because even though you're a vendor, you're still part of this industry.
Yes.
So from your vendor perspective, what's the future of this industry?
It's growing exponentially, because the demand for events is still, it's on a daily basis. Nigerians.
But I thought the economy was hard.
No matter how hard the economy is, Nigerians are happy people. We must celebrate. One good thing about Nigerians is that we celebrate both our small wins and our big wins. We must celebrate. So another aspect that I see for the event industry is, as the growth takes place, there will be more professionalism, more dignity in labor. Because there's some people you see that some guests look down on vendors just because this vendor is probably doing bole and fish, or this vendor is the one doing the juice or whatever it is at the event, and they think that they are below or whatever. Most of these people are graduates. It's because there's no job. So they created jobs for themselves. And gradually, because more educated people are going into this event industry, you see that a lot of changes, evolution going on in this space. And before you know what's happening, abroad, they offer event planning in universities.
Yeah.
But in Naija, I don't think there's any school offering event planning. I don't know. I stand to be corrected. So when, as we grow in this industry in Nigeria, you see that there will be more respect for event planners, vendors, and professionalism also for them. They want to improve on what they've learned. They want certifications and all that. And
that's a good one if that happens.
Yeah, very important.
So very quickly, before I let you go, what's your advice to your fellow vendors out there who are pushing, amidst the economic crisis and everything going on in the world right now?
Well, dear vendor,
dear vendor,
dear event planners or event planner, it's tough. It's actually tough, but we keep pushing. We are Nigerians. We never give up. So, what I would advise is that you work with what you have until opportunities come for you to grow. Be consistent in what you're doing. You never know who is watching. So whatever you're doing, you wake up, show up for your business every day. Just be good at what you do. Create relationship with your customers. Let people see what you've done for them and also refer you, because referral is a very, very important part of our businesses. Even though we advertise on social media, we do a lot, but referral. So for every job that you get as a vendor, do it with all your heart.
Well, thank you so much, Oghenekevwe, for coming on this episode of Ladies Talking Business.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Ladies Talking Business. Do join us this same time next week for another episode. Don't forget to follow us on PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle on YouTube to catch up with our programs. I'm Moremi Akano. See you next time.